Hey guys, how's it going? Woody here at SBFbuilding.com. Hey, real quick, I'm working a little bit off screen over here behind you with a balancer and a balancer installer. But what I want to do is I want to put a balancer on here. Obviously, the correct time to put the balancer on is obviously not now, without a timing cover, without an oil pan. But instead of just using a long block or something I have with a pan on it, what I want to do is when we put the balancer on, I know a lot of guys know, but I think a lot of guys don't know, and because I see it on the forums, they say, well, how far should I go with the balancer? How far should it go on to the snout? And the answer is, well, it may be obvious, but the answer is until it stops. And the reason it would stop is because the hub of the balancer is going to sit flush against the face of this crank gear here. So I figure we do it without a timing cover, and you can see as it's going on. The real, I guess I don't know how I say it, the whole context of the video really is an installer, a harmonic balancer installer. Instead of putting the balancer on, beating it with a hammer, using the bolt to draw it in, which is a disaster. It's been done a zillion times. There's been, good outcomes and certainly bad outcomes. But what we're going to look at is a basic installer, and it's really quite simple. It's broke down into a couple pieces right now, but basically what happens is, we obviously don't have the balancer on at this point in time, but what happens here is you screw it in. This thing has been through the ringer. I'm talking, I couldn't take hundreds upon hundreds of balancers. So, and you can see from the bearing is showing its age as well, and remarkably, it still rolls like a charm. Probably made in USA, honestly. Okay, so this part of the balancer we've made. You're going to get something in a kit that looks similar to this, but we just made this here at the shop real quick because we put the balancer on a million times. We broke the other part of it. But so what eventually happens here is, if you got that on, this balancer is going to go on here. I'm going to step back though, but I just want to show you the premise of the installer. Sorry about that. How about that? All right, then you would have this portion here. Then you would have the bearing. And what we always have that I left out is this. You probably won't have that. That's special cardboard right there. That's just so it doesn't mar up your pretty balancer you just paid $300 for, $200 for. All right, bearing on, and then the nut. And I'm not going to put it on yet, but I just want to show you how this whole deal goes together. Essentially what happens is that bearing inside of there spins, this stays stationary, and as you're turning this nut, it pushes the balancer on nice and smooth, everybody's happy. It's the correct way to do it. So let me take this off and then let's go. I want to look at a few other things really quickly here to show you. I just didn't want to rush into it and say, hey look, this is how it works, because that was the whole point of doing the video. I was going to do it without an oil pan so you would see. Let me see if I can maneuver the camera around here. Alright, so yeah, now when this balancer is all the way installed, the face of the balancer hub here will be flush against the crank gear face. And that is the answer to how far do I put this balancer on, or how far does it need to go.